going to do a little bit of comic book scripting and show you what I'm doing basically for my character. It's pretty complex, but once you understand stuff, things will go underway. By the way, I'm waiting for my dentures, so don't be afraid if I show you no teeth at all. So let's get that underway and we'll check into that right now. Okay, first of all, this is the Copyright Office search, and as you can see, I have several copyrights that I made for a couple of books I made, as well as a paper I put out that everybody says that I didn't, but it's in public domain, and that's the resonant gravity field coil, which I did in 1998. So that's basically in the public domain. I really don't care about that one anymore. I'm not making any money with it. But I had a brilliant idea back then. And I made some other ones, and one of the ones I made was a comic book called Lebram, the Triple Transformer, and that is my copyright there. So I hold the copyright for that. It was done in '87, and this character is mine. So this is the actual copyright search for my stuff. Okay, just to let you know, a heads up. So let's move on ahead. Okay, as you can see, I have several scripts for my comic book, which I've been working on. And one of these is the origin story. And the origin story is going to be split up into 2 or 3, maybe 4 comic books. And what I use is Celtics, and it's going pretty well for the first part of it. I didn't want a comic book. This is the wrong one, by the way, so let's exit that. Sorry. Here it is, the origin. Now, if you don't know about Celtics, you should go and find out the lessons for that. But my character, which I want to put into a comic book, and it's going to cost me a bundle to do. Celtics has several formats which you can adapt to. So you got stage play, audio play, comic book, and storyboard. Another program I like to use is YWriter 5 from SpaceJock.com. I think it's SpaceJock.com. Yeah. And YWriter is a beautiful program. You can do a lot of things with. You can make your stories. You got project notes. You got characters. I got characters in here. The background, who's going to be in it, where, when, other stuff you can put in it, and it's not specific. Chapters, scenes, but you can do the same thing with Celtics. And when you're done with, making your comic book, you want to get comic book drawing paper. That's another story in it altogether, and when you're done with it, you can use what's called Manga Studio Debut or Manga Studio and upload copy all your stuff in here, and then when you learn this program, you can open pictures and put them in there and start editing, and there's plenty of videos on that. to do that, and it's just a wonderful program to work with when you're doing stuff, either this or Photoshop, which is really expensive. So, as far as the scripting is concerned, your ideas have to go into this. So this is basically dialogue here for me. Um, at the beginning, I have narration, so it's narrated when it comes to this part here. And I'm not going to reveal the story, but you've got the format here. Just right-click here for your format, and then go down to format. You can have a scene heading, your action. This is a transition here, or parenthetical, which indicates something you want to put in there. But this is a transition, and you got your character here. This is your character, so you put your format for your character, and this is the dialogue down here. So you want to do your dialogue also. Make sure everything's right. As far as spelling and stuff like that, you just put it in there. This character is pretty complex, so it will naturally go to the character on the next level. So for this particular scene, I'm going to have a transition, and we're going to go to another dimension, which is back to Earth X1. So we want to put X and then start that off with a transition. X1, which is Earth to me, and then your colon or whatever you put in there, and then this starts a scene heading after that, and it's just on default. So you want to put for this particular scene, we're going back to make sure your spelling's right, and this would be for this character, it'd be a wicked replacement to another character that ends up coming into a teleporter and is trying to switch universes with another character before time runs out. So this is a character, and I want to put that, and it's all uppercase, and it goes, that's the character, and then the dialogue starts, unless you want action. The action is same thing, same stuff you do. Let's just put something in here. He places the key card to begin the process. That's not really dynamic. You want it as dynamic as possible, what you're saying. Into the transporter. So you're thinking in comic books here. Transporter, and activates the inevitable countdown. That will take over the world. Switch universes. And save. Oops, that's uppercase, sorry. Save his world from the wicked genie in his universe. Oh, I got my spelling there. You got to be be careful of that sometimes. You might have to go back a whole bunch of times checking everything. But he has yet to experience the change. So that's pretty good enough. So you don't have to really select it. You can, but you change the format to action, and then you move on to dialogue. Now, in 24 hours, you also want to make sure that about numbers, it could be 24 or it could be 24. See? So in some cases, you might want to put 24, the number, or 24, the lettering. That's something that you should be able to point out. I will be free. I will finally be free. And then that's dialogue. Now you're going to go on to the next character, which is, this will be Harry Hodges, who is the sidekick to the main character. He's in the shadows. Shadows. Watching. He's watching. The plan unfold. Okay, so that will be parenthetical, because you're indicating something there. Okay. And we're going on to so, and also this would be parenthetical. Thinking to himself. This is all indicated for the comic book, so we will put that in parenthetical too. Not over my dead body. Creep, uppercase. And in comic books, there's usually some kind of stuff like this. All the wording is uppercase, basically. You don't have any lower cases and stuff like that. So you can put, dashes and exclamation points or punctuation, double with a question mark or whatnot. But usually one or two will help. And then make sure your laptop is on safety mode. That's off, so if you touch it accidentally, it can skip to another line, and you mess up a whole section, or you actually select something, and it'll mess up all the wording and the work that you did. So make sure this is on. Whoops. Make sure that's on, so if you accidentally touch the pad, your mouse over here won't interfere with stuff. Let me just go up here and save it. Choose your file, place it, and then let's say you want to put it into, adapt it to a comic book. There it is. Okay, but you're going to have some issues with this. Panel 2. This looks really long, so you want to make sure that your characterization is within a certain format. When you're ready to print your script up, you don't want to use Celtics to do it. Okay? I messed that up. show you how to do that. So copy, and then we go to WinWord. I got 2007. I don't want to update because I got a lot of programs on my computer, and that's it. So that'll be in the cache. And you just paste that. You could save it or whatnot. You don't have to save it, but it's a good idea to save it and make them back up. And you can check on it and everything else and see how everything went. You know, like your wording. The Blanton grins, you know, no, Dr. Foster's. And basically, when you save it as, you can save it as a PDF, which is really good. So I'm going to save this to desktop as an example, and it should just put the tag on it automatically. So, but I do it manually. And then you just do it that way. It'll bring up the, see how the wording unconscious is wrong? That's another mistake you gotta check. And there's that in PDF, and this prints wonderfully as far as, you know, the story and everything like that. So you get your PDF document, and you can look at it at 75 or 100, and it should come out nicely when everything's ready to go. So, and then you just go to your print, and you can use, you know, what you do is, as far as printing is concerned, you want to print it double-sided. So instead of printing it all, you're going to waste paper. So you just start out with one. There's 21 pages here. So you start out with one, and then print that. Turn the paper upside down after it's printed. On the other side, backward, you turn it around back into the printer, and it'll print it on the other side. So we're going to cancel that, and this will be deleted. So exit Word. I don't want to save it. This is just an example, and we'll throw that away because we're not using it actually. And basically that's how you do it, you know. I don't know if I'm, you know, you can import a script. You can do a lot of things with Celtics. Celtics is free, but the link to it's hidden, and you got to find, you know, everything there. But as far as my character, I've been working on it off and on, here and there. I got several other scripts in mind. Plot issues. Here's the other thing you want to have is a story Bible. The story Bible is very important because it helps develop your ideas for the character as you go along. And when you have that completed, you know, it describes the characters, it describes the origin, it describes who is where, and devices, inventions, you know, all of this stuff you want to put in there. It could be short, it could be long, enemies, allies, dimensions. Let's say you got dimensions, mine are there. This is updated. I gotta update this again anyway. But the story Bible is if you do get your character into a series, maybe a cartoon eventually, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did, the story Bible is important to the producers as well as the directors and everybody involved in the production of the video, because they can refer to it as well as you can as to the nature of what is, you know, the rules and stuff of the actual character, and from show to show, and who and what is going to be doing, you know, what according to those rules. Kind of like, you know, think of He-Man. You know, He-Man has certain rules of Eternia. he does certain things, and this story Bible helps define the character and his world. Um, it's not easy script writing, but script writing can be a fun process, or it can hurt your knees for sitting in hours at end at a computer terminal, um, plotting out a script. But once your script is done, the origin story is the most important for your character, due to the fact that once that's done, the preceding stories will follow from that story Bible as well as the origin itself. So hit or miss there, and then when everything is ready to go, you start drawing it up. If you're not good at the art, you hire someone to do the work for you, and then you pay the money for various printers, and I'll show you that in a second here. There are various printers out there, so let's look at that in my bookmarks section. I'm not sure exactly where it's at, but we're going to look for that. Here we go. One of these is Litho Ninja, Greco printing. First of all, let's start with Manga Studio. That's that Manga Smith Micro. You want to get this program or Photoshop, and it's a pretty good program to have when your comic book is ready to go. So that's the program. Comic book printers, there's some overseas that you'll want to check into. As far as printing comic books, and there's some here in the United States that will print your comic books. They're not one at a time. They're probably 3,000 to 5,000 to 10 to 20,000 or even 80,000 at a time. So you want to get that out there so a lot of people have a copy or can actually get a copy, and the demand for it later on will increment. So Greco printing is one of them. Litho Ninja is another. If we can get a connection, there we go. If you want to print your comic book, this is another company. Oh my, what happened? That wasn't very funny. Litho Ninja. You can print comic books through here. Don't watch their video because there's a guy in there that crumples the comics when they're printed out. And there's a few of them out there. You just have to look around. And comic book supplies if you're a collector, all that neat stuff. So there you have it. If you want to start your scripting process for your comic book, this is one way to do it. There's probably several others, and I'm going to be getting back to this as soon as this video is done. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great